The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Hump Day! You're looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside a very wet and moist Ford Center at the Star, Frisco,
What's
Texas.
up, y'all?
Where it is 69 degrees and cloudy. The high today is 81. The low tonight is 70.
Hey, did you drag her? You dragged her to this? She doesn't look
She looks
enthused.
so uninterested
She looks
in what's going on.
so
right now.
uninterested in what's going on.
We're talking to a tour outside this
Yeah.
podcast studio right now. So.
She looks like, he lucky I like him. he probably like, hey, listen, I got a great date for us, babe. We're gonna go out on your day off, and we're gonna go see the Star. And she like, okay. She can care less about football. You just saw like her face. I saw them down by the Hail Mary exhibit. Mm-hmm. She had the same face you just saw right there. Like, just dreadful.
Not interested
at all. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay.
Oh, that's Shannon. He's Nate. My boy's on a very, very important staff
Jesse's
meeting.
solo today.
I'm solo, but that's okay. I'm going to hold it down. Chris Beam in the back. I don't know if he got company, but
I do.
you do. The kids are here again today?
No.
No.
Oh, no.
He got his regular
They
crew.
in school.
Oh, your regular crew. All right, so Chris Beam in the back. I am Salt and Pepper Poppy. Together, we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille people feel when we speak.
Brought to you each and every day by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Who's gonna take off this year?
John Tolbert, let's go.
It was Cooks last year, so who's gonna be this year?
We got a visitor out. We saw earlier today that I heard he was on the AARP show.
Yes.
Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, he live.
heard
He's
that.
like a bottle of Geritol.
I heard that.
Stephen A.
Very special guest.
Stephen A's in the building. I just saw him down at the cafeteria.
Oh, he's in the building.
Yeah, he's in.
I thought he called in.
No,
so he's actually
I just
here.
saw him.
building.
He's in the. I just saw him at the
What
cafeteria.
is he doing here?
I don't know. Chris will know.
Some event, I guess. I don't know.
You know, Chris always knows. Chris will tell us 2 weeks from now and be like, "Yeah, they were shooting a
And you know,
special
there's
event.
a, there's
Couldn't say
a
anything about it.
There's a misconception about Stephen A.
He loves the Cowboys.
He loves he hates you guys,
Who is you guys?
Fans.
Oh, what you mean?
he hates Cowboys fans. He loves the Cowboys. He
Especially
loves
everybody outside the Metroplex and the rest of the world.
Yeah.
He hates.
Stephen A. loved the Cowboys for the same reason we all love the Cowboys.
ratings and numbers and money. And he loves
Some money.
He loves Mr. Jones too. He loves Mr. Jones. I'll tell you this. I've met him and I've seen him outside of his persona. He's a fun guy, man. He's got a great personality. He's fun. He's funny. But you know he gets the fan base riled up for sure.
He
man.
does. It's Wednesday, so it's check your mentals and your dentals.
Yes. How are you?
Are you good?
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
We
All the
gonna
way
get-
around.
Did we get that tooth filled?
Oh no, that's going to be after the.
Oh, that's right. You got to let your
come
shit
back
build
around.
up. You got to let it build back up.
It's not in any danger of there's no decay. There's no cavities.
I got you.
I just got to get some some
my new
cosmetic
insurance
work.
My new insurance took hold on the 1st, so now I can start working through
Start
that.
chipping away at all the little things that have been.
Yeah. I'm back.
We'll do it before the end of the year.
But here's the thing. Won't talk about the company because I already been told. But my new insurance runs through a calendar year. So I have so when most people reset in January, mine doesn't reset until next September. So I have a full calendar year to get through it. So while all you guys are rushing in to the dentist before
spread it
January,
out.
I can spread mine out a little bit more.
you go.
Nate, you good? Mentals and dentals?
Great, man.
Chris,
Great.
you good? Mentals and dentals?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna give a couple shout outs. To my boy Jack down in Florida and his son Kyle up in New Jersey. Man, we're gonna do that dinner, right? We're gonna do the dinner we talked about. Yes. So Kyle and Jack know that Hanging with the Boys, we're gonna do that dinner in a couple weeks. Just say yes, Shannon.
Yes.
You already said yes. Nate
No,
already said. You were here.
I don't think so.
I think we just added you in. Nate said yes.
I'm in.
Kurt said yes. So I knew
I'm
he
in.
was in. Chris
Yeah.
Beam. Chris don't turn nothing down but his collar. So I know that.
Who's paying?
They are.
They are.
Definitely in.
Yeah.
Double- double
nice,
down.
Nice steakhouse too.
Let's go.
I already made the reservations.
Booze included, Miller Lights included.
I don't. That ain't my concern. The steaks are free. I know that for sure. Tomahawks are
pitch in
free.
on the- I'll pitch in on the
Tomahawks
beer.
are free.
It's
So Kyle and Jack, man, love you dudes, man. Continue to just keep your spirits up. Shout out to my boy. He said I can't call him Little Richard on the air, but shout out to my boy Little Richard and the boys down at the warehouse. Huge Cowboy fans, listen to the show. You Little Richard to me. Your daddy Big Richard. You Little Richard to me. I don't care if the boys laugh at you at the warehouse. We childhood friends. We've been growing up since little. You Little Richard. Tell them they can't call you that, but you Little Richard to me. All right, let's go.
All right. We ready? Want to talk some football?
Let's do it.
The Browns. There's a game on Sunday.
Yes.
There's a game tomorrow night. Are you guys excited?
Jacked up.
Football is back.
I hope you guys don't have that old Direct TV because if you got that Direct,
What a mess that is, huh? I heard about that this week. I was like, oh, they better get that figured out before the weekend.
Chris Beam, you got Direct TV? I knew you had Direct TV. I just knew you the Direct TV odor just came off of you. You seem like a Direct TV dude.
Okay, so
Now wait a second. Direct TV is sponsored us. We need.
AT&T owns DirecTV,
AT&T.
so we can talk about this on the
Let's talk
outside.
about-
if you want
let's-
to.
Let's talk about the Browns
Let's
versus
talk about the
Cowboys.
Browns. Yeah,
There we go.
We're gonna talk about the other stuff.
All right, so I'm going to throw something out there,
Let's get to it. Nate got his notes
and I
over
want to
there.
know
He's
if
quiet.
Just looking, man.
if y'all agree with me or not. I think the Cowboys can win this week. I expect them to be good, but I fully expect
Here you go.
the offensive line to have some challenges until about week 3 or 4 or 5 of the season, just from a rookies being on it, not playing together, for them to gel. Am I wrong in that assessment?
You're right to think that. You're right to think that. That is a good assessment.
How much is that going to impact the offense as a whole? Will Dak be running for his life the first 3 or 4 weeks? Will it be serviceable? What can we expect this first game?
When you're dealing with grown men, which these young men are, BB and the other kid, they are grown men now. Can they deal with guys of equal or greater talent with a little bit of knowledge to the game and how it does? That it remains to be seen. We never know. Some guys, I'm telling you, they can line up and you be like, this dude a rookie, but they know the game. They understand the magnitude of it. They don't have deer in the headlight looks. They just can play this game, and that's what we're hoping. That's gonna go for our left tackle and our center. That they gonna play this game
When the lights come on.
Yeah, and some guys they get to hiding. Some guys come out like, this is what I've been waiting on, to show you who I really am. And but it's still gonna be, I think, some kinks in the armor. And then you have where our guy that missed today, his boy. He don't even kick this chair away. His boy Kurt, he kicked this
Put
chair
his
away.
chair in the corner.
Yeah,
No,
like
I didn't
his
do that.
boy.
I didn't
and
do
so he put, what do we expect from these guys? The starters getting together and trying to find a rhythm. It could be hard, but if these guys come in and live up to their expectations, it could be easy too.
What's different let's start with you, Jesse, then we'll go to you, Nate. What's different in the first live game of the season? I know the speed and the contact. Contact's probably a big thing because you don't really get to hit a lot in training camp anymore. But other than that, like what are because there's got to be a jump. Even though you've been in training camp, you've been going against grown men and it's your own guys but there's got to be, from a receiver standpoint, what are the big things that are different on game night? And then after he's done, you tell me on offensive line what that is.
The endurance. I think that's something that people don't, because you start out hype, first game of the season, your energy's way up there. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not the guy that's playing 70 snaps a game, right? Like, that's not That was never my role, but not at least not in the league. But I played it at a high level college. But it's the endurance. It's the ability to be able to be close to as good as you can be in the third and fourth quarter. And I think that, talking about something for CeeDee Lamb, that's something to look out for. Because now, like, I'm going to be looking for it. How many times does he give you one of these, right? How many times did he give you a couple head taps and he goes to the sideline, he's on one knee and he's panting like, because that part you don't really equate, because now I'm going 100 miles an hour every single play in a sense. And then if I'm getting the ball in that, I'm trying to make a guy miss. I'm being tackled to the ground, not like in practice where you catch it and they run by and they kind of two hand tap you. Oh, I got you. No, this is physically bringing you to the ground. And I think people sometimes miss that part, and just how much energy is exerted by, WWE wrestling somebody else. Like, that's a lot of energy. If you and I we just wrestled for 15 seconds and had to jump right back on air, it's going to be a lot of, so in the next segment, we're going to be. And so for a guy like CD and other guys, it's now talking about that football shape, right? Yeah. Does that take hold, and how soon and how ready are these guys to go?
Running all out every play for 3.5 hours. Yeah.
And that same thing is going to be with Tyler Guyton, because he played 9 games last year, 5 games the year before. His endurance is going to be tested. He's never played 3 consecutive games in a row.
And there's no rotation. Yeah. Like, especially, excuse me, I'm going to cut you off, but especially for offensive linemen. A receiver, you can kind of tap out for a second to get a blow, but when you got to come right back in, if you're CeeDee Lamb, you're not spending a series on the sideline unless you're hurt. For Guyton, there is no
every play.
There is no sub for you, right? Unless you're hurt, you don't get to tap out. You don't get a chance to go, I need a breather. You gotta find it deep within you that I gotta push through this. And when we'll get into this, the Cowboys offense versus the Browns defense, this defense doesn't give you a break. Jim Schwartz and this defense, their MO is to continuously come at you over and over and over and over and over again. So I think that's the biggest thing that's going to be a shock to some of these younger guys when they get into the game.
And so this kid has never played 3 games in a row. And like Jess was saying, his endurance is going to be tested, whereas BB played 30, 40 games. And so you don't have to worry about, because what Jesse is talking about is that adrenaline goes up, that oxygen turns into carbon. And now you got to slow yourself down, regenerate by taking nice, smooth breaths to get that oxygen back in your blood, because when that game starts, you're going to be hyped. When Tyler Guyton see number 95, and this is where I'm saying, is he going to say, you know what? I know who he is, and I got great respect for him, but I can block this guy. And then he start to block him and have success. And another thing that Kurt put up here was, how do you start the game? Do you start the game running, or do you start the game passing? Well, unfortunately, this ain't Oklahoma, or this ain't Nebraska. You have to let the down distance tell you what you could do. So if we jump out there and get that ball on the 45 or the 50, you do what you want to do. But if you get that thing back on the 20 or the 15, you might want to try to run, just to try to get some space in there for Dak to be able to scramble around just in case we have a mishap early.
Can going to your point, you're in there every single play. You don't have time as a offensive lineman to think about the last play, right? You lose your confidence
very
early?
Quickly if the coaches don't be aware of it. We talked about it yesterday with the kid that we destroyed. The kid that we as an organization destroyed. He did not deserve that. They won't do this to Tyler Guyton. Coach, the offensive line coach will not let that happen. He will be on the coach saying, put a tackle over there. If we can start this game as 2 tights, it will help. Because, Jesse, they'll go out on a wide 9. And then it don't matter whether you have a tight end or not. But if they are in close, in a 7, and where the wide 9 is, you're the offensive tackle. I'm moving out of the screen. That's how wide I am. You got to dance with this grizzly out here. But if I'm a little bit closer, you feel a little bit more comfortable. Because I got a tight end, and I got to wait on him to make his move. Then I can come up on you. By then, you set up. But if I'm wide 9 and you got to dance in all this space, it could be a little bit different. Yeah.
Interesting. All right, let's.
And he's a big man.
Which one?
Both of them. What is this?
Zadarius
Smith and Myles Garrett. They're both just great big athletes.
Well, let's talk about both of those. You know I like them.
Big black
both
men.
Both of those great big athletes. When we come back for the second segment of Hanging with the Boys, we'll be right back.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys!
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole, made with real Hass avocados, will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouth-watering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the second segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by blockchain.com. Thank you, blockchain.com.
No. No.
We can't
no,
do that one?
No.
That was a hell of a story, Jay.
No. We're not doing that.
I got to do it. I got to sell out.
No.
Wait,
I gotta sell out.
let's talk about
No.
it in the next break, and then you can sell out
No.
if we agree.
No.
We have to agree.
He says no. It's his story, and I'm saying I'm
Thank
sticking
you.
to it.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank
Lord
you. Thank
Jesus.
Let me go ahead and get this one out of the way so I don't forget. 7-Eleven is teaming up with Fanatics to give you the chance to be a VIP at next year's Fanatics Fest. From now until October the 29th, use the 7 Rewards app. Jesse uses it.
I do.
At checkout to be entered for a chance to win when picking up products like Slurpee, Big Gulp,
Big gulp, huh?
and Taquitos. Yummy. No purchase necessary. Terms apply.
You know what's fun? Like 7-Eleven, they must be good. I will never eat them, but
The Taquitos?
no, they got wings.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
see 'em
every
when I go
time
in
I'm
there.
in 7-Eleven, like
Somebody's ordering them.
2 handfuls, like double fisted with the wings, and I'm like,
When I'm on my motorcycle,
you.
when I'm on my motor and I need a quick fix, at 7-Eleven, where you at, baby?
Wings.
And hit the. I mean, because they ain't that big. You just and you be gone.
You do what?
Yeah, they ain't that big. You just be gone.
Cut that. We need to start cutting stuff, Chris.
You start having the blooper reel.
Yeah,
like,
we need to start having some drops again on the show. All right. Speaking of, what were we talking about?
let's go.
Their defense,
Browns
and our offense.
defense.
Yeah, we were talking about Zadarius Smith and the other guy. Is he the best?
Myles Garrett.
Is he the best now that Aaron Donald's retired? Is he the best defensive lineman in the league?
I mean, he is the
Well,
defensive player of the year.
about to say he won defensive player every year.
Can't argue that.
So
he a legit defensive player of the year. He ain't no hyped
So
up.
right out of the gate,
Man.
you're a rookie and you're like, here we go. Welcome to the NFL.
And it's not even that it's not even just Myles Garrett. Right. I don't want to
Downplay him.
I don't want to downplay Myles Garrett. Like Myles Garrett, when they got to their meetings on Monday and the offensive team and the offensive lineman got their playbooks, when they first opened it up and they were looking at the players, Myles Garrett had a page to himself, right? Like that's how much of an important, like he's the guy that you have to worry about. When you break the huddle, when Dak goes, all right, ready, break. When you turn,
Where's he at?
We're 95.
Mm-hmm.
Like you find 95. But it's Jim Schwartz as well. Like what he does as a defensive coordinator, and that's the Browns' defensive coordinator. He's coming into his second year. Remember, Jim Schwartz, a long time in this league, was a head coach for the Lions at one point in time. Mm-hmm. And the part, because we're going to kind of face some of what Cleveland did. Jim Schwartz is entering his second year as a defensive coordinator. And I listened to a couple of his press conferences, and he talked about, he said, what we're going to do is our fastball is going to be our fastball. And we got a chance all last year to work on our fastball. And they're going to blitz. A lot of man coverage, which bodes well for the Cowboys because the best quarterback in the National Football League over the last couple of years versus the blitz,
Dak Prescott.
Dakota Rain Prescott. Mm-hmm. So that part is good. But when you have two rookie offensive linemen, they want to create, Nate talked about the wide nine. They want to create situations where either your guards have to clamp down or your tackles have to go wide. Because now what that does is if my guards, if Zach Martin and Tyler Smith have to continuously come down and help the center, what does that now create? A short corner for your rush ends, for your linebackers that are blitzing. And he brings them Schwartz is going to bring them from depth. He's going to bring them, he's going to mug them up. He's going to give you a multitude of looks to try to confuse you. If the tackles are, like I said, if they have to go out wide, Nate explained it great. Now I got to dance with this. I got to dance with the Darius Smith, who in his own right is a really, really good pass rusher. And I have to dance with the defending defensive player of the year. Honestly, we don't know what Tyler Smith is going to be. And we're figuring out just how good Tyler Guyton's going to be. So that's what Jim Schwartz wants to do. So it's not just having to open up the season against Myles Garrett. It's open up the year against a team who is in the second year of this defense, which means they can add more wrinkles. So even what you watched on film last year, they're going to be able to add, as Jim Schwartz said, we can now add our curveball. We can now add our slider because we have our fastball down. We got that down. Veteran group, a lot of these guys are coming back. So so defensively, they're going to be more on a string, and that's the haunting part, is that now you have a defense that last year, which to me is probably the biggest third down efficiency, meaning we're getting the hell off the field. Number one in the league. The Browns, number one in the league. They were number one in the league last year on giving up total yards. I think like 279 total yards. Number one in the league. They were top 11 or 12 on passing yards. They were number one in the league they were number like 7 or 8 in run defense.
Giving up 105.
So top 10 in most of the major categories.
Yeah. Which now the one place where they are boo-boo in the gooch juice, which this is why they brought your boy back, red zone defense. They give up the ghost in the red zone.
Yes, they will.
That's good.
That's running and passing.
That's good.
You gonna pull down. If you can get in the red zone, you gonna pull down them panties.
Because that's one place the Cowboys haven't been great at.
And now, granted, they're probably gonna try to address that. But going off what last year, when teams got in the red zone against the Browns, they were good from 20 to 20. When they got in the red zone, give it to me, honey.
Cincinnati got them at the end of the year. In Houston, they don't even count what Houston did because they was hitting them from every part of the field. It don't even count what Houston did. But Cincinnati took advantage of it. The teams where they lost, teams really took advantage of them. They lost 6 games. In those games that they lost, it was ugly. It was very ugly. So I just tell people like right here, as great as their defense is, every now and then you can hit them with a big play because they're going to play. Only people they'll shade is they'll use their linebackers to shade and they'll use their tackles. And they'll just give you an inside or outside eye. You know, they'll be either head up on the guard, depending on where the strength at, to inside the guard to a little bit outside the guard. They play a 4-man front, you know, and they believe that their 4 men can handle your 5. And now the big kicker, and Jesse, you know his last name. I know you've been number 6, the single digit Jeremiah. This dude plays everywhere, deep at the defensive end. Middle linebacker, he blitz, he covers. This man a bulldog. When you look at the film, you think Myles Garrett going to just keep popping out at you. But number 6 pops out at you, and number 1 pops at you, Warren Thornhill.
Juan Thornhill.
These guys pop out at you because they're always running to the ball, whether it's down the field, whether it's up the field. They're always around the ball. And Jim Schwartz is a beast.
Yeah.
He's a beast. He's the type of guy you would like to hear what he tell his guys the night before the game.
Yeah.
Or right before the game when the head coach saying what he got to say, the defense ain't really listening to him because they got all eyes on Jim. I'm serious. Is he not that good?
He's
some
that
guys
kind of
like, and the head coach love that. Oh, I ain't worried about my defense. I know what they gonna do.
Yeah.
You know. That's how Jimmy used to be with his defensive coordinator. Once that got that. If they ain't listening, I'm talking to the offense. But my defense, if they ain't listening, it don't matter.
And another one it's Jordan Hicks, veteran guy, middle linebacker. He's their green dot guy. He's the guy that gets everybody lined up.
And he was with Minnesota.
He was with Minnesota.
Yes.
He was with Detroit.
Yes.
He's been with a couple teams. But I think he was with Minnesota. He was in Minnesota for a couple years. Philly, I believe he was with too.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he is their green dot. He's going to be the guy that gets all these guys lined up. And like I said, they're going to play a lot of man-to-man coverage. Now, I don't know if Denzel Ward is going to shadow CeeDee Lamb, but Grant Delpit, safety, Juan Thornhill, safety, studs. They gonna be able to cover. They're gonna be able to tackle. You know, if there is a weak spot in that defense, it probably is Emerson Jr. He's probably the one guy that kind of, if you're gonna pick on somebody, maybe him. But
the quarterback better not make a mistake though.
That's the thing is that, and that's how they want. The opportunities will be there for the Cowboys to strike rich. That's how Jim Schwartz he deploys his defense. He's gonna four down linemen. He's gonna bring them linebackers. Like he's going to insert guys, and it's gonna be 4 or 5. It's gonna be 4 guys rushing every time. But you can almost count. Like the days are long. A 5th or 6th guy is coming from somewhere.
Is this gonna be the best defense/defensive scheme combination they're going to face all year?
I don't know. No, you got Pittsburgh, you got Baltimore,
we playing the Ravens.
You got the Niners. Yeah. So this team, like, I'll say this, and we'll talk about the offense in the next break. If Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe if this team is playoff eligible by the time they get to January, them dudes will be 2 years of experience.
They'll be tested.
Right? Because, like, you're talking about the defense that they have to face this year. The Giants, they may be poo-poo on offense with Daniel Jones. The Giants got a good defense. Philly going to have a good defense. Dan Quinn going to put something together in Washington. So that's 6 games you're going to have to face a good defense. Baltimore, the Niners, Detroit, who else?
New Orleans?
New Orleans got a good defensive front. So these young boys they're gonna have
tested, huh?
they're gonna have
They're
2
gonna see
years.
They're gonna see it all.
They're gonna have 2 years worth of experience. By the time they get to January, they're gonna be like, man, we didn't see just about all of the. Do they play Kansas City this year? No. So they won't see Chris Jones. But that might be the
Outside of
only one. They're gonna see what's his name, Hayward in Pittsburgh. You're gonna see all the guys in Baltimore. You're gonna see what Detroit's
TJ
gonna
Watt.
do. You're gonna see Watt. You're gonna see Cam Jordan in New Orleans. Like, you're gonna see some of the best pass rushers that the league has to give you in this gauntlet of a schedule this year.
All right, let's take our last break. I want to know, Cowboys offense, what do you guys think the identity is going to be this year? With the running back by committee, with CD, are they going to be pass heavy?
Stay rooted.
Run heavy, 50-50? What do you guys think when we come back and more on Hanging with the Boys?
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys!
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole made with real Hass avocados will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouthwatering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the final segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by Jigsaw, the proud dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And before we get into Cowboys...
Let's not offend that sponsor this segment.
Offense, yeah, let's not. Something I saw on Instagram that I thought was interesting that has some NFC East ties to it. The 2018 Alabama team. Listen to the guys that were on this team. These are all guys that have gotten the bag.
Did they win a championship that year? 2018?
I think so.
Okay, probably.
Look that up real quick.
I got you. Yeah, read it off.
Josh Jacobs, Jerry Jeudy, Xavier McKinney, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Christian Barmore, Patrick Surtain,
Just got paid today.
Quinnen Williams, Trayvon Diggs, Tua, Jalen Hurts. A little bit of talent.
Yeah, they beat Georgia 26-23.
Golly. Two quarterbacks that Tua signed a 5-year, $212 million deal, and Hurts has a 5-year, $255 million deal on the same team. That's crazy.
That team was
so stacked. All right, question for you guys. And this seems to be a question we ask even the last couple of years, 10, 15 games into the season. What's the identity of this team going to be? How's this going to shake out with the running back? Can this team be a a running team, or does this team need to be a passing team now that you've paid CD, you've got Dak? Like, what do you expect, or do you need an identity? Is it going to vary based on the game and the game dictates who they are? Or are they going to be able to establish dominance in one area or the other and then supplement it with the other part of the game?
For me, it's too early to tell, but I know who got paid, and I know who's the best athlete and who's the biggest player on your team, and that's CD Lamb. So you're going to have to build something around him until the others gather, like Shaq saying, until the others get right, and start playing their role. CD Lamb is your man. I mean, you got to find ways. And Jesse said the tapping of the helmet and all that. And a week ago, and I'm like, give him a snap count. I ain't giving him no snap count. Man, get out there and get your money.
We gave you your snap count.
Yeah, so for real. So, I mean, be running some extra.
You better run back and forth to the bank.
Yeah.
Suicide
so that's
at
what
the
I
bank.
believe. He's your best player. Don't play around. I ain't saying you got to run him on 18-9 routes to get him right. But that short stuff you did last year and, tell him, hey, get on if you have to. Don't try to be no hero, But the best player is CD Lamb, besides your quarterback.
And I think you're 100% correct in the best player is CD Lamb. But we just talked about it. When you have two rookies that are starting on your offensive line, and you have to figure out just who these guys are. We talked about confidence. We talked about, being able to establish yourself early on, not abusing these young men. And I think if your thought process is, and sometimes the games may dictate this, but if you're dropping back 40 times a game to open up this year, or that's your identity early in the season,
It'll be a long year.
I think you're setting yourself up. I think you have to find a way to establish a run game for your offensive linemen's confidence, for the integrity of your offense to be maintained. Because if you don't, now you start playing these games with one hand behind your back. And if teams realize that there's a weak spot that they can attack, especially up front, then they will. So I think early on, you have the firepower. I think Dak's going to continue to have, really good regular seasons. We don't know what the playoffs will be, but regular season-wise, I think he's still going to be CD's going to continue to elevate what he does. But identity-wise, I just find it hard to believe that you can veer away from trying not to be a run team first, to work the play action, to have those things happen for you. Because you talked about it. Sometimes you're going to have to be two tight ends. You know what I mean? Sometimes it just might have to be what it is. So when you got to get in that 12 personnel and that 21 personnel, then that's what it got to be. It got to be that sometimes. And then allow yourself to open up the passing game. But if you come out the gates and and this thing is shotgun all day, here we go, and you slinging that thing 35 times, just in general, history tells us when Dak Prescott starts throwing the ball 35 plus times that the winning percentage goes down. So I would establish that run early, give these young kids, I don't call them kids, these young men the opportunity to be attackers and not attackees, meaning coming downhill on blocks instead of waiting to receive, a rush. I think that bodes well for you. And then if you got to get into a shootout, you got the dogs to get into a shootout. Yeah.
I just believe this right here. Don't get down. Advantage is them.
Makes you one-dimensional.
Yeah. If we get down early, don't get down. Advantage is them. Until proven different, I will always believe this. When we play teams that as talented as we are, equal or better, the tiebreaker is who can run the ball the best. And it seemed like these physical teams, like a Cleveland, always seem to be able to run the ball the best. Now, their best running back is on the PUP list, But that is not going to stop Coach Stefanski. He averages running the ball 30 times a game. Whether he's successful or not, he's going to run the ball. So that's a scary proposition.
So as a lineman, we're talking about running back by committee. Is the timing different, or is your not technique, but does it change anything who's in the backfield, or is it
when you have a great running back, they make you great. Mm-hmm. When you have an average running back or a good running back, it's a work together. It's let's be on the same page. Don't cut this thing back if you ain't supposed to. You ain't that guy. You do your job. And so Zeke know who he is, and our offensive line kind of have an idea who Zeke is. Let's get in there and get a rhythm, and then it may change just slightly with Rico Dottle.
But do you look back, like if you know?
No, you don't look back.
Well, no, but I know. But if you know, okay, this play Deuce is back here, and I know he might cut back, so I need to hold this guy a little bit longer.
That ain't my job.
That ain't his job.
No?
That ain't my job.
No. All right.
And I'll say this: and good running backs understand the blocking scheme and know how to set blocks up. If I know that linebacker is the guy who's trying to tackle me, and I know where I want to go, then that's why sometimes you got to be slow too, because I need to make sure that my mesh and my timing is right. Because if Nate, as a guard, right, if his job now was to get to the second level, it's help inside or help outside and then get to that next level. Well, if I'm Zeke, if I start outside too quickly and the run is going outside, then I screw my guard up from getting there because that backer now sees me go outside. And if we're not coming back inside where he's going to run into that guard and we're going outside, then I don't give my guard a chance to get up there and get the block, at least a piece of him. So sometimes as a running back, you got to set the block up for yourself and give your lineman an opportunity to go up there and finish the block. So as he's coming, if we know that we're going outside, then I need to maintain that inside leverage with that linebacker so that now when Nate comes off that block, he has an opportunity to get to that upfield shoulder. And then now as he's getting to that upfield shoulder, I'm coming right off his butt. So that linebacker he doesn't have enough time to engage, disengage, and now get rid of and get to me. If he does, it's arm. It's arm. And if you're a running back and you ain't running through an arm, then you need to go sit on the sideline. So sometimes with backs, you set your block up. That slow two part of it is, okay, here it comes. Now I got to hit it as soon as I see those things mesh together. So those are some of the things that Zeke gives you as a veteran running back, but that's how you help your offensive lineman. If you start outside, you start doing stuff off track, then you ain't give me a chance. No, you ain't give me a chance to get up there. And now they'll say this offensive line is bad, and the whole time it was the running back who was impatient and got outside or got inside. You saying, you ain't give me enough time to do with my blocking duties. So those are the things that you kind of got to watch for. And, sometimes people don't see those things. I don't watch film and all that, but I won't bother those folks.
So you're doing your job as offensive lineman, and the running backs got to.
The running backs in time, and that's why when guys, I look at games a little bit different. Like some guys, they ran the ball 25 times. No, they didn't. They didn't run it the right way because they didn't run it to the strength or the strength of their running backs and offensive line cohesiveness. That's why I don't believe. That's why when I have friends that call me, oh man, this college coach he rotates his offensive line. I say he don't play in a Power 5. He got to be one of black college football because we'll do that. But you ain't going up to Bama and run a fresh 5 out there. You ain't going to Auburn and run a fresh 5 out there. The talent will kill you. These guys, Jim Schwartz will say, hold on, who is that at center? Who is that at guard? They got all-pro guard, and they run an all-pro guard off of a backup guy. That don't work. This is the NFL. Put your 5 out there, work with your 5, get some cohesiveness with the running back. And you know what? What I admire about Dak is he's a good faker. He can follow through. And that's why his boots are successful. That's why his rollouts are successful, because he will make you think that running back got that ball when he don't. And that always helps with your linebackers. They got some nice linebackers, and they got some nice safeties. This game, This should be a real physical game, and I'm glad we practiced the Rams twice during the training camp, because I do not want the speed of this game to shock our guys. Because the Rams first and second time
Shocked them the first game.
It shocked them. Yes, it did.
All right, fellas, good stuff. Tomorrow we will talk about Cowboys defense and the Browns offense.
What defense?
Bring your knowledge to help me through the show tomorrow.
So we're gonna talk about the middle of the defense.
Maybe Kurt will be here tomorrow. Who knows?
My boy had a meeting. He had big stuff to do today. Don't do that.
Big-
he had
I know.
big plans. He had big meetings.
It's okay. He did tell us ahead of time.
He did.
So unlike the guy to my left when he decides not to be here. So
Well, at least I call him 30 minutes before.
exactly.
Send a picture.
I just be in a different town, and I'll be here sometime hours between.
You're right. He sends a picture. He doesn't call. He sends a picture.
Y'all have a good show, fellas.
I'm crossing
Mexico.
the border. I'm crossing the border.
Chris.
I'm in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Thanks for keeping us on the air, Jazz. Thanks for keeping him company. What's my man's name back there? Josh. That's right. That's
My
right.
boy.
Josh.
I like Josh.
We will see all of you tomorrow, same time, same place, hanging with the boys.
We out.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?